Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalrin, and I actually got the request from a lot of you, pretty highly requested, to do a video on pathing for the artifact weapon for Subtlety rogues. It seemed like a lot of you guys enjoyed the Outlaw rogue for reference purposes, and I felt like it's a pretty good time to release the a Subtlety one, since a lot of you asked for Subtlety in particular. So let's take a look at what Subtlety has. Again, I'm gonna do it just like I did with my first one. I am going to go over live on a video with you guys my thought process behind the pathing that I'm deciding to take. So what I'm going to do is the same as with the first video. I'm going to do all this rationalizing and path choosing live. I haven't taken a look at the talents themselves in detail yet. I haven't planned it ahead of time. So I'm going to do what I did with the last one. I'm going to take a look at the talent pathing, see where it goes, and then just use rationality here, live recorded on the video, in order to show you guys and share my thought process. So you get your first one, which is your Gorm's Bite, and then you move on to a freebie for Shadow Fangs. Increases physical and shadow damage by 4%, which is pretty awesome because you have a lot of shadow and physical damage. So then the path splits into two. Alright, well there's a couple different options you have for damage, a couple different I like the artifact talents a lot for Subtlety. I guess they're a little more straightforward. Like Outlaw Rogue are pretty straightforward, but I feel like, okay, the best way to explain what I'm trying to say is, I feel like Outlaw Rogue talents themselves for artifact weapon, the actual traits and which ones you choose, they don't make as big of an impact as, like, let's say Subtlety, because Subtlety have a lot of good choices, so it's actually kind of hard to decide which way you want to go. Let's take a look at the major traits. Shadow Nova. When you exit stealth, you explode, dealing shadow damage to nearby enemies. Not as good for PvP. After you use Sheep Shot or Shadow Strike, Akari Soul appears 4 seconds later and Soul rips the target, dealing shadow damage. Awesome, awesome. Or you go for Finality. After using Ablet or Eviscerate, your next use of that same finish move is empowered by the Fangs of Devourer. That's awesome. So you have two options. You can either go top or you can go bottom. I feel like if you're trying to get the most amount of damage and the most effect, it might actually be better to go down. So you have 3 points, 6, 9, 10, or 3, 6, 9, 10. But here we go, 3, 4, 7, 10. So you are getting a little bit more damage, and you get into Finality, which is 1 point, which you can actually just skip Second Shuriken completely, which is an AoE, and go into Energetic Stabbing. I actually like this pathing a lot better. Yes, it does force you to grab Fortune's Bite and then Embrace Darkness, but then it gives you some damage and buffs right after that. Boom, boom, boom. Here you get like a damage and chance, then a dodge and immune to fallen damage. Then what really good talent for Soul Shadows for longer shadow blades duration, which is awesome. But then it's like you're kind of stuck, so this doesn't leave you hanging, which then you're trying to build for Energetic Stabbing, and you can go for Ghost Armor, and then you can grab 1 point into Flickering Shadows, because then you'll be able to get vanishes every time you sprint and you don't take damage. Then I would completely ignore the Quiet Knife, honestly. I would go for Gut Ripper. No, I actually would go for Catlight Reflexes, get Soul Shadows, then get Gut Ripper. And what do you have left? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I guess you can go for Quiet Knife and into Akari Soul, which are pretty decent. So yeah, this is the pathing you would make. You basically would draw an outline of the sword, but you don't dig into the meat of the sword. You kind of draw on the outline. That's actually a really good setup. I just thought of it myself. Wow, this if you are playing Subtlety, like that's what I would recommend you to go. So we start with Gorm's Bite, Shadow Fangs, and then you're just grabbing some, I guess, just some subtle buffs on the side, and then you're going for straight damage every single buff. So then next 4 in a row, you get Precision Strikes, Demon's Kiss, Finality, Energetic Stabbing, so you have some damage at least. Then you're grabbing Ghost Armor because you need it in order to access Flickering Shadows, and then you have more vanishes. You grab Catlight Reflexes, Soul Shadows, so you have your Burst Rotation, and then you buff up the Critical Strike of Eviscerates. You have most of your damage afterwards. And then from there, I would grab Quiet Knife, then Akari Soul, then Shadow Nova, and then Second Shuriken. So that's the order that I would go for PvP. And for the most part, it's gonna feel so weird. I'm so glad I'm not playing Subtlety, because then I feel like I would have to put a lot more effort into the artifact weapon and farming the artifact power, because I feel like Subtlety just needs all these points in order to make it complete. as an outlaw, you don't really rely on it as heavily. Yes, there are, every single point counts, but I don't like if you were to take a halfway completed subtlety weapon and a halfway completed outlaw weapon. I feel like outlaw is at a better position than subtlety, because subtlety just needs all these little tidbits in order to make it so powerful. Because otherwise than that, like for example, you would need to grab soul shadows as soon as you can, because otherwise your Shadow Blades is only lasting 15 minutes compared to 15 seconds compared to 25 seconds. That's crazy. You want to get damage for Precision Strike, Demon's Kiss, Energized Stabbing, so you can get your normal damage rotation out. But then it's like, to get Soul Shadows, you have to grab these dodge abilities, so it's like weird. You have to get backstab. It doesn't deal any damage in my opinion. That's basically what I would do for my artifact weapon. It actually have everybody who's playing Subtlety, you guys actually have a really cool artifact weapon and really good traits. Like, I'm actually very jealous in a way as an outlaw rogue. So yeah, this is so this is what I have for you guys as a Subtlety rogue weapon. I decided to do this video live in order to be able to add my rationality while I'm doing this video, in order to have you guys see what pathing I would take. If you guys have a better pathing, please let me know in the comments below. How would you go about leveling your Subtlety artifact weapon? But I feel like this is the best one for me. And in the end, pathing doesn't matter, because you are supposed to unlock all of these traits before you can start leveling the weapon. But this is probably the most effective one if you want to get into PvP and start dealing as much damage as possible. You want to get your bearings, so you have to get the outline of the blade, and then you want to grab a little bit on the inside with Flicking Shadows, and after that you can start filling in the bits that you aren't as important for PvP. Like for example, Shadow Nova to deal shadow damage when you come out of stealth. Really? Akari sold for 34k damage. That's a lot of damage. Wow. Whoa. Oh, about this one, Second Shuriken. Shuriken Storm has a chance per target to deal 6,000 additional physical damage. Wow, we got so much burst. I mean, of course I can sit here and make fun of the weapon and some of the traits all day long, but they're all pretty good for PvE purposes. So this is what I have for you guys, the pathing guide for a Subtlety rogue weapon. Let me know what you think. Again, let me know what your path would be in the comments below. I'd love to read from you guys. Happy leveling, everybody. Legion is here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Please make sure to come out to the live stream and support hanging out with me in chat. Just have my stream on a different monitor while you guys are leveling. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.